So this year, I feel like one of the really awesome things I did that honestly, like any of us could just do at any point is I did things that scared the shit out of me. And the first thing that comes to mind is that in the middle of the year in July, I went on a holiday on my own. And I would never have done that before, but I just was really feeling this pull. I was just really feeling this pull from within that like I just really needed some alone time, even though I really didn't want it. I actually stopped and listened to myself and did it. I was terrified going in, like I was honestly shitting myself, but then it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, and like it's a funny thing about doing things that scare the shit out of you because they're so scary from the outside, but then the second you just take one step in, you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. This isn't so bad. And then you really realize that like when you're on that path, that's where all the good stuff happens.
Oh, totally. And you feel really good about yourself for doing it.
Yeah, you feel fully proud. Something that actually comes to mind of that I did this year that scares the shit out of me is starting this podcast. We talked about starting a podcast for such a long time and I was so apprehensive for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons I feel like is because the idea of sitting down for a full hour and talking to women that inspired me really scared me because I felt like I was going to be hearing about how amazing they were and it was just going to highlight to me how shit I was in a weird way. But in actual fact, I feel like it's done the absolute opposite and I've gone in kind of expecting to feel that way. But in reality, what I've gotten from it is that while these women are all amazing and they have so much knowledge to share, that at the end of the day, they're just people. And I'm also just a person. And they're pretty great, but I'm also pretty great. And then, there's not really anything to be scared of. This year, I've actually, from speaking to people on this podcast, I think, really taken a step back and tried to figure out exactly what success means to me. And in the past, definitely for the last like 4 years, I'd say the idea of success was like working really hard, like I work so hard that I like,
Yeah, working hard is a badge of honor, as Kath Will said.
Badge of honor, like, that's my number one thing. I'm so ambitious. Look how ambitious I am, everybody. Look how hard I work.
Yes, because I think we think of the opposite of ambitious as lazy, but there's a kind of new opposite of ambitious that we've found this year, which is balance, I guess, would you say?
Yeah, and now the word success and the idea of success is much more holistic to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a personal thing. I think everyone though needs to stop and kind of ask themselves, well, what does success look like to me? And am I furthering myself along that journey or am I doing things to hinder that? Because in reality, by me working 24/7, I wasn't making way for things that I love and people that I love. And those are the things that I want in my success.
I completely agree. And now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I deem this year to be really successful for myself. And I guess work-wise, yes, we've had a really like work successful year, but I think, no more necessarily than other years. But for me, really, I added a whole bunch of like personal, holistic, wellness things into my world. And that balance with work that you are passionate about and that you feel like you're making a difference through is really feeling like a successful year to me. So when I went on this wellness retreat in the middle of the year, they gave me a journal and a pen. They left it by my bed and they didn't say anything about it. And I kind of like...
How ambiguous.
I know. And I looked at the journal and it looked at me and we kind of looked at each other and we were like, what do we do? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know either. Anyway, I picked it up. And I started to put the pen to the paper and things just started to come out. And I think it was really awkward at first. And I remember when I was writing, I was like imagining what people would think if they read this, like obviously like the ultimate judgment of myself and caring about what people think. And I just kind of let it flow. And so I've been doing this now for almost 6 months. And now I like laugh at like the profound things that I'm writing in my journal. They're probably still, if somebody else read it and they would be like, what the hell is she writing about? But it doesn't matter because I feel really good about it. And one of my friends actually said to me the other day, she was like, I've noticed that you don't need advice so much anymore. Like, when you just like ask your friend, like, what do you think I should do when people are kind of stressing out about things? So I actually realized that what journaling has given me is that I know how I feel. So I don't need to ask other people's opinions. Yes, I can be like, hey, Jess, do you think I should wear like the pink sweater or the blue one? But when it comes to like real big decisions, if I'm uncertain, I kind of just like turn to my journal, I turn to my own thoughts, I turn inwards, and I'm just like really clear about how I feel and what I want.
How to live.